Hello YouTube, today we are gonna be watching one of my recent games, playing on my right account, playing in Master 200 LP-ish lobbies, and I'm playing Graves into Elise, and this game is probably the biggest jungle gap that I have done in many years. I got a 200 CS lead and over 12k gold lead in this game on to the enemy jungler. So yeah, I'll go through my thought process, how it ended up happening, the mistakes that I actually ended up doing in this game, because a lot of people have the mindset of, oh, if I'm just gapping my opponent and I'm doing really good, then like they kind of don't really focus too much on their mistakes. They're too hyped up of the fact that they are completely 1v9. So I put this ward here on Raptors just to see where Elise ends up starting. And I have the idea of I want to invade the Elise because Elise players will start either Q or W level 1, meaning that they're quite weak, clearing their first buff. And since we saw Elise on the top side, then I'm assuming she's starting on red buff. In terms of lanes to play through, we're pretty much just gonna weak side top because there's no there's no carry players, right? So then I spot the Elise here, and then slowly but surely I just kite her on the red buff. And then get her flash and she dies. So pretty good level 1 invade. Smite her red buff, take her raptors. And instead of going to her Crux, I would like to be in position to defend my own bot side jungle in case she decides to invade. So I skip her Crux and just go to my top side. We have a ward on her blue buff, so we know where she is. And then I just clear down. Make it to my bot side jungle. Spot the Elise, but I already secure my raptors. Then I take my Crux because I already have a red buff. Okay, now it just ran out. But I'd like to just do my Crux because I don't have a ward. They end up diving on bot side. Nothing really I can do. But the good thing is I can now tax basically 100 gold for free here. And a little bit of XP. Actually, I can catch a little bit more here. So this is about 300 gold worth. Almost a full kill if I get the cannon minion. Which I think Pantheon gives me with his support item. Yep. And then after this, I then go to my red buff. Clear my red buff. And then I decide to take the scuttle crap on top side. Because I pretty much know that Elise took the bottom one. So 5 minutes into the game. And I am up by 800 gold onto the enemy Elise. With a 20 CS lead already. Buying a serrated dirk and a longsword and Doran's plate. Doran's plate because it got buffed, and the serrated dirk plus longsword because I will go ghost plate into collector. I didn't see these ganking mid. I just continue doing what my opinion is what you're supposed to. Just efficiently farm your jungle over and over again. I get my level 6. I see that they are fighting a bot side again. Fortunately, I end up not being part of it, but the good thing is this wave is slowly pushing towards the enemy. So what do I get to do? I get to tax it for free and crash it into the enemy tower. The Rakan is then holding it. So I have to push another wave because of the fact that he was holding it. And then unfortunately I end up getting ganked here. And here it is where you could talk about this being the first mistake. I should either let the Rakan just freeze the wave and back off. But what could otherwise also happen is that my Pantheon actually went mid lane for no reason. And if he went to bot side, then he could have stunned the Rakan and we could have killed him, making it so that he couldn't freeze. But yeah. If we want to focus on the fact that it's solo queue and our teammates are not the smartest human beings on the planet, then yeah, we should just let Rakan freeze and say, okay, whatever. Wait for the bot lane to come and then crash the wave together with them. But we got another invade onto Elise red buff. We take the top scuttle. And then again, back to farming our own jungle. Not really focusing too much on objectives. I know some junglers like to do that, but my approach since 1320 is pretty much just to farm my own jungle, and if I have power farm the entire of my jungle, then I can take the jungle camps. I then find a level 5 Elise to my level 7 Graves, so I end up just killing her. We then end up collapsing, killing the one as well. And unfortunately we can't quite kill the Akshan, so ends up being a 2 for 1. But I decide to take the Rift Herald here. Take the Rift Herald, go towards my wolves. And even though we're down overall as a team, 7-9 in team score by 1000 gold, my individual lead is 4.6k to 2.8, so I'm up more than 1.5k gold already, and I'm up 50 CS as well. Yeah. The fact that the enemy team is ahead is only through their lanes, it is actually not through jungle. In jungle I am up on 1.5k and I will basically snowball with my lead, which we will see throughout the game. But yeah, right now it's not looking too good as a team, but for me individually, looking like a very, very good game. Take a fight here. Unfortunately end up dying. Probably should not have taken this fight, because my Kai is also really in a position to fight here. The good thing here is that I died at a time where I didn't really have any jungle camps up for at least to counter jungle from, but obviously it sucks that I end up dying because it removes the ability for me to potentially invade, and it also just ends up giving gold towards the enemy team, right? So both 2 deaths could probably have been avoided if I really played 100% for myself, and relied very little to almost like not relying at all on my laners. So yeah. We then collapse on the Akshan, we get a flash, we use the Herald in mid lane just to get some gold, because it's 30 minutes into the game. I was thinking about invading her top side again for the 3rd time, but I decided not to, just like we didn't have prio. Decided to cover in mid in case they dive, but nothing ends up happening. And once again, we just keep on full clearing. And we are, as a team, down by 2k gold now, which sucks. But I'm still ahead in the jungle. Should probably have reset after my Crux and then went to my blue buff, but... I see that they ganked my Cho'Gath, so I obviously counter it because I know he's a tank and I can make it up there and I have more damage than the Elise. So we get a bunch of kills here. Get a bunch of shutdowns as well. Instantly back into farming. I see my Cho'Gath is recalling, but he has TP. But I would like to kill the Lucian here if possible, but not really possible sadly. If my Cho'Gath didn't have TP, I would simply just go top and catch the wave. And then here I start the Rift Herald, because Elise is dead. So it should be pretty free for me. And now all of a sudden we are actually ahead in gold. By 1.5k, despite being down in kills, or now even in kills. And then we clear again, and now we are 139 CS to 56 on Elise, and the gold lead in jungle is 2.6k. So a pretty big lead in jungle already. Actually more than that, we're 3.5k ahead of the Elise. Just invading Elise's jungle, because I'm up by 3 levels already. I don't really have to respect her at all. Pick up another kill onto the Akshan. Fighting here, I think is okay, I think it's the right idea. Want to push my lead, I'm really strong, so I don't mind fighting, especially with summoners and ultis up. And numbers advantage, but of course sucks that I died, so maybe I should have played the fight a little bit slower. So yeah. But now we are up almost 4k gold onto the enemy Elise, 160 CS to 75. So pretty much the entire gold lead now as a team is basically on jungle. I spot the Akshan, but end up dying. This was a really bad death for me, and unfortunately I end up also killing my Galio because of it, because he ultis me, and then my teammates decide to take a fight right after, so they also end up dying, and it just creates this bad like chain reaction of mistakes. So that was 100% a very big int from me. I was looking to invade her top side again, as per usual, but without any vision, it's really risky, and trying to catch one person suddenly turned into a 1v3 that did not go in my favor, and yeah, that was probably the biggest mistake on my end in these first 20 minutes of the game. We then decide to rush Baron, because we have a tank who can tank it, and a Graves and a Kai'Sa who can do a lot of damage. Elise is dead, so now they don't have a smite. We secure the Baron buff. Then take the fight. I killed the Akshan. Not really too much interested in fighting anymore, just want to secure the Drake. So I push mid wave and go to Drake instantly. Elise gets here. Unfortunately, since I'm actually stealing it, I should probably have been able to secure it myself, but I end up killing her back for it. Probably not worth though, because she got the bounty as well. So my bad there on securing the Drake. But I get to take the entire jungle because of it, so we are now 5 levels ahead of the Elise. No, only 4 levels, so 15 to 11. But it will be a 5 level lead eventually, because now I'll power farm the entirety of my own jungle. Meanwhile, Elise only has 2 of her topside camps up. And now the gold lead on jungle is 6,000 gold, which is more than the entire lead as a team that we have right now. And CS wise, 220 to 85, so I have the most CS in the entire game. So yeah, just catching all of the waves as much as possible. Maybe focusing a little too much on farming here. Should probably have been using this Baron buff to push a little bit more and group together with my team, because Baron buff is really good for pushing, and towers do give a lot of gold as well. So yeah, maybe a little bit too much focusing on farm there, but makes a good YouTube video, you know? Really weird Q by me, and then I fail flashed as well. I remember specifically I misclicked, I wanted to smite, and then I ended up fat fingering my smite and flash at the same time. But my team luckily avenges me and makes up for my death, but I should not have died there. I should have been able to flash defensively, get the 1 kill and get out without dying, so yeah. But coming out of base, the gold lead is now 7,000 gold in the jungle. CS wise, it's 253 to Elise's 103, so 150 CS lead as well in the jungle. Looking for a pick off here, but won't really find anyone, unfortunately. We do end up finding Akshan together with Pantheon, but I'm too far away. But once again, you'll see me living in Elise's jungle, power farming everything I can possibly take. Pretty much I can 1v1 anyone on enemy team, just need to make sure I don't get CC'd and I don't take outnumbering stupid fights. Rakan decides to try and step up, but I just crit him right in the face and he's dead. Cho'Gath gets to eat the Drake for another stack, and then we go straight to Baron because it's respawned and we have a numbers advantage, 5v4, because of support being dead. My entire team goes mid lane, I don't really care, I'll stay on the Baron. I can almost solo it at this point because of LDR and the lifesteal that I have in my build. Elise is dead, I just secured the Baron, or Cho'Gath actually ends up doing that. I end up just kiting a little bit here. And eventually I'll just go back in, and then I'll kill all of them. So then I will farm my wolves. Yeah, again, probably a little bit too much focusing on farming. Should probably have based and then decided to go bot lane to push the tower in. I should base here at some point, yeah. I do base now. 18k to 8k, so I'm now 10k gold up on the enemy Elise. 305 CS to Elise's 118. And I am, yeah, pretty much just full build now. So I can't really get any stronger than this. Team fight breaks out. Kill the Rakan. Take the mid inhib here. Kill the Elise. Kill the Lucian. Kite my way, life stealing my way through the entire enemy team. And securing a triple kill. And then eventually ending the game. And at the end of the game, we as a team have 11k gold lead. I in the jungle have 21k to Elise's 9k. So I have 12k gold lead. I farmed 332 CS. Ended the score 16, 5 and 9. Could have done improvements in terms of all my deaths were pretty bad. Either I was relying on my teammates too much or I was simply inting. So I could actually have been 0 deaths in this game. Maybe 1 death would have been acceptable. Which was the top lane situation where, yeah, I misclicked my flash right. I also focused a little bit too much on farming. Should have used both of the Baron buffs that we got to push for a little bit more, because it only lasts for 3 minutes. So I should have based earlier, got my items and been out of the map ready to push. But regardless of that, over 200 CS lead, 12k gold lead in the jungle, which is more than, yeah, the entire gold lead that we have as a team. Being full built fairly early on into the game, and not a complete 1v9 game, but a pretty good game for me in the jungle. And I have had roughly 8 to 10 CS per minute now on Graves ever since. And just to showcase, then you guys can see here my match history. So 181, 26, 220 at 26, 220, 26, 300 at 36, 335, 206 at 29, 286 at 33, 265 at 26, 292 at 31, 165 at 20, 300 at 31, right? A lot of games where I basically have insane farm, like 8 to 10 CS per minute on Graves. Sometimes maybe farming a little bit too much, but having a really, really good success with him, despite jungle being nerfed. So yeah, this was how to get a 200 CS lead on the enemy jungler in Master. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed.